Okay, so now that we've gotten practice with working with the actual exponential function as far as algebraically, let's do it graphically. And like we've done always in the past, we're just going to do the same process as here. So let's start with our basic function, and then we're going to list out all the different transformations. So the basic function obviously is y equals your base to your power. So it's going to be simply 3 to the x. Okay, everything else up there is technically a transformation. Okay, so your basic function for an exponential is always going to be your base to a power of x, always. It's just in this case the base is 3, sometimes it'll be 2 or something else. Alright, now the transformations. And let's make sure we list it in order. First thing you want to do is check for up inside that exponent. And there's only one thing happening up inside that exponent. That plus 2 is telling me we're going to shift, do opposite, so we're going to shift left 2 units. So that means we're going to subtract 2 from the x's. Okay, next thing we have after that is nothing else is up inside that exponent. No negative signs or no numbers attached to the x, so we're going to go outside. And the only thing outside is the 9, so we're going to shift down 9 units. So we're going to go minus 9 from the y's. Okay, let's start our t-charts though. So here's your first t-chart. And our first t-chart is just the basic function x of y equals 3 to the x. Okay, we know the domain for any of the exponential functions is all real numbers, so I don't have to worry about excluding anything here. So I'm just going to do the typical negative 2 to 2. Okay, so 3 to the negative 2. If you want to consider it, you can think of, okay, take the reciprocal of the base, so that exponent goes positive. So that'll be 1/9. 3 to the negative 1. If I take the reciprocal of the base, then that exponent goes positive, so it's 1/3. 3 to the 0 is 1. That's a very important coordinate right there, because all exponential functions in their basic form go through the points 0, 1. Okay, after that, we have 3 to the first, which is 3, and 3 squared is 9. Okay, so our transformations tell us that I need to go left 2. So I'm going to subtract 2 from all of my x's and then subtract 9 from all my y's to get my brand new t-chart that I'm going to graph. So negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, and 0. And then I'm going to subtract 9. Obviously, it's going to be easier to start from bottom up. 9 minus 9 is 0. 3 minus 9 is negative 6. And 1 minus 9 is negative 8. So now let's think about this. 1/3 minus 9. So that's, oops, if I want to get a denominator of 3, so 9 times 3 is 27. So 1/3 minus 27/3 will be a negative 26/3, or if I do it kind of in mixed fraction, it would be negative 8 and 2/3. Okay, and then the last one, let's go 1/9 minus 9. So 1/9 minus 9. So 1 over 9 minus 81 over 9 is going to give me a negative 80 over 9. And as a mixed fraction, it would be negative 8. And what? 9 times 8, 72, and 8/9. Okay, that was gross, but we can put this all together. Let's draw ourselves a graph. Okay, so coming up over here on the left, it looks like we're going to be spending a lot of more time in the quadrant 3, it looks like. So we're in the negative x's and definitely the negative y's. 1, 2. Okay, so the first point, we're at negative 4, and then not quite down to negative 9. Close, but not quite. Right on the cusp of it. At negative 3, we're again the same way, just slightly higher, not quite there. Okay? All right, and then -2, we're down at -8. Gosh, very slow rising graph. And then -1, -6, right there, and then 0, 0. So it's kind of doing that right there. Okay, what's happening on the left side of that graph? Okay, so this is that part when I told you at the very beginning, you have to notice in your notes, we have to pay attention to that horizontal asymptote. Well, the original horizontal asymptote for just original function is y equals 0. That's the original horizontal asymptote for any basic function. So if I take that horizontal asymptote and I go through the transformations of moving left 2, so think about it, a horizontal line that shifted left 2, still horizontal, nothing's happened. But now if I take it, I move it down 9, so horizontal line moved down 9, I've got something, because now it's going to be the horizontal line y equals -9. So I need to draw that in there. It's very important you don't forget this, and you need to label it. This is my horizontal asymptote, y equals -9. So that's going to help us because it's going to determine that this graph, what it's doing here on the bottom half, it's getting really, really, really close to -9, and then it's shooting up to positive infinity. And it shows you here in the graph, specifically with those, it's going from 0 to -6 to -8, and it's getting really, really, really close to -9, but it's never going to cross. Okay, so we want, in order to graph, that's what I'm going to be looking for, is not only the graph and this final t-chart, but I'm also going to be looking for the asymptote on there, so don't forget that. Let's try it again. Let's go to example 5.